So what was the question again? Oh, why is it called the traffic jam? Well, the reason is, it's because I have two really cool cars. Seriously cool cars. And I love drifting, racing, because I am fast and slick. And plus, I like to create a bit of traffic jam myself with a whole lot of great music. Bulumnaka, my name is Real, your host and DJ, right here on the Today FM Traffic Jam, every weekday from 3 p.m. to 7. Right here on Today FM, today's hit music.
In this bulletin, Fiji is being used as a port for drug smugglers trying to sneak illicit drugs into the country before sending them on to Australia. A new state-of-the-art high-tech studio for young people has been opened in Lami. And the Suva Private Hospital will resume 24-hour services starting Monday. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate, and this is FBC News. Fiji is being used as a port for drug smugglers trying to sneak illicit drugs into the country before sending them on to Australia. Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority CEO Chitoko Tikolevu referred to the recent $30 million heroin bust as an example for authorities to work together and keep our borders safe. Christopher Chand reports.
Fiji is being targeted by the illegal drug trade, crossing our borders to smuggle hard drugs destined for more developed countries.
It's always been going to Australia, particularly. The market is there for all those heroin, cocaine kind of thing. It comes through Fiji and out again. So the realization from smugglers is that we are so vulnerable here.
In December, Customs and Police uncovered one of the biggest heroin finds in recent years when they caught a shipment at Lautoka Wharf.
The intervention that we had at Lautoka, where we captured that 30 million heroin, just to show that we are serious, together with the police, we are serious on our business to capture and prevent all those people that continue to bring in these illegal things.
As globalism develops rapidly, criminals are becoming more sophisticated, and customs officials have to keep ahead of things, despite the limited resources.
Paying attention to that, because we realize that things keep on changing. The pattern, the structure of smuggling thing continues to evolve.
Last year, Customs uncovered a number of other ways used by smugglers to bring illicit drugs into the country. Among them, parcels sent from overseas, which are now being thoroughly checked at the post office. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
A new state-of-the-art high-tech studio for young people has been opened in Lami. The studio will allow young people access to advanced technology, including 3D engineering, robotics, video game making tools, photographic, audio and video production, 3D printing and more. Watisoni Raikondroka was at the opening and tells us the story.
The new Lami Tech studio officially opened its doors today.
Anything that helps young Fijians to broaden their horizons by connecting with new technology, and especially the world of learning that comes with the internet, has my full support.
Banimarama says this facility is part of the government's initiative to create more opportunities for the Fijian people. CEO High Tech Youth Network Mike Usma says that the studio is a partnership with New Zealand Aid, Foundation of the South Pacific People's International, FSPI, and Lami Town Council aimed at promoting opportunities for kids in the 21st century learning. It also had world-renowned supporters in Adobe and Microsoft backing the program.
In the facilities here, we have a whole bunch of computers, we have a recording studio, there's a lot of industry software on there. It's very much an integrated place for youth to use as much technology, work alongside adult mentors, and also steal ideas from other kids from around the network.
And at the touch of the button, Fijians will be able to interact online with over 400 youths at high-tech studios across the Pacific region from Hawaii to New Zealand. Penny Rabitu, a student, is ecstatic about the creative possibilities that lay ahead.
Lamitech means a lot to me because I have the right to express my creativity through computers, and when I'm using computers, that is also a useful asset for the near future.
The new state-of-the-art studio located in this heavily populated area of Lami is aimed at attracting young people aged 8 to 25 years of age. What is Rekan Roka? FBC News.
The Suva Private Hospital will resume 24-hour services starting Monday. The hospital management has told FBC News it has resolved matters with the Health Ministry that earlier forced the reduction in operational hours. Chanel Sivan reports.
Almost after 2 years, the Suva Private Hospital's mentorship program for young practitioners has been recognized by the government. This means they can now hire new doctors, allowing the Turek Suva-based private hospital to resume 24-hour service.
In 2013, there were certain aspects of the Fiji medical practitioners decree that we faced challenges, and that brought about some difficulties in our recruitment process. So since 2013 and since this present time, we've been able to resolve these issues as we move forward, and we're now able to recruit adequate number of complement to be able to ensure 24/7 service deliveries back in 2nd of February 2015.
General Manager David Ngomivutia says practitioners in the public sector can now work for a private hospital, but will still have to fulfill their public sector obligation.
They have to finish a certain number of years of working at the public sector. They need to do rural attachments, and they need to move around all the other departments before they can, other considerations can be considered.
At this stage, there are 12 full-time doctors at the Suva Private Hospital, with part-timers supplementing the 24-hour service. It was revealed doctors from the Colonial War Memorial Hospital are still being hired by the SPH, but now it is being limited to consultants and specialists only. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
The Public Accounts Committee today began its third-day deliberations over the Auditor General's report from 2008. As highlighted throughout the week, a number of recurrent issues have surfaced. Maggie Boyle attended today's meeting and filed this report.
It can best be described as a face-off between the Ministry of Finance and the Office of the Auditor General. Refereeing the bout is the Public Accounts Committee. Day 3 of the committee meetings and queries delved into unbudgeted revenues. In particular, the 2008 Auditor General's reports noted $157 million of revenue arrears. Clarifying the issue, the Ministry of Finance's Chief Accountant Nedhani Langivere.
When the government is using modified accounting, which is from cash towards accrual, and the FERCA is using accrual accounting, which they take into account the revenues which is not yet received, but it's accounted for. But for government, we realize revenue as when we receive it. That's the two different things.
Langivere added that the ministry is now in transition to a singular accounting system for government and its agencies. Deputy PAC Chairman Balminder Singh dispels the notion that the buck should stop with the Ministry of Finance.
But it's the fiduciary duties that the civil servant must be aware of. They have a duty of care to this nation, and they should not act negligent or with laxity. They must pull up the shocks and see that these the repetitions. So most of these things, the repetitions and the reoccurrence of loss of revenue for the government, and this cannot be tolerated.
The committee meets tomorrow with the CEO of the Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority, as well as heads of finance for various ministries, to clarify a number of discrepancies where the Auditor General's recommendations seem to have fallen on deaf ears. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Parliamentarians from 11 Pacific Island countries have been reminded to embrace the principles of human rights to promote good governance and improve development outcomes for the region. Fiji is being represented at this 3-day Pacific Parliamentarians consultation on human rights by government backbencher Dr. Bridgelal and opposition members Mosese Mbulivatu and Salo Terandrondro. Maori academic and politician Dr. Peter Sharples was the guest speaker at the consultation, which will provide an an opportunity for the MPs to enhance their understanding of current and emerging human rights issues in the region. Randrondro says she welcomes the opportunity to be part of the consultation on human rights processes, as human rights holds the key to true democracy. Human rights for good governance is the theme of the three-day consultation, which has been organized by the Secretariat of the Pacific Community's Regional Rights Resource Team. Coming up, residents question approval processes for proposed development.
Nisambula, oyo Mr. Ben. Kelapa. Nama kikira na vima taka moni tikira borumbu kama na ono kene diwa ena bula FM.
And leading this segment, ratepayers in Rewanga Suva have blamed reclamation and earthwork over 17 acres of swampland for recent flooding of their properties. They raised their concerns at a public consultation about the proposed multi-million-dollar project last night. Ellen Stolz reports the land in question is owned by Golden Century Company Fiji Limited.
Our people are suffering because of your incompetency.
Raiwai residents are disappointed at how things were allowed to come this far without proper approvals. This 17 acres of mangrove area has become prime property after massive reclamation works, with developers planning a retail centre and upmarket homes.
Just because you people are seeing only the developer side, you people are not seeing how we are suffering.
It's not a bad thing. It is a good thing for development, but it has to be done with proper planning, and it has to be done properly. Because since the development, like my property has been flooded 9 times.
It's unknown whether this development is causing localized flooding around the area during heavy rain, but residents believe so. Town and country planning officials at the talks clarified that they weren't there to discuss the actual reclamation and any possible negative effects. They just facilitated the rezoning of the lot from residential to commercial. If approved, the development will resume. Suva City Council's Special Administrator Chandu Umaria says the consultation was part of the process, which wasn't followed in the first place.
Like I said, they haven't given us all the requirements. Once they give us all the requirements, then we'll approve the plan, then they can start.
All the earthworks were halted by the SCC last year because Golden Century had not submitted all the relevant documents that the council required. Ellen Stolz, FBC News.
A lot of programs will be rolled out this year to further strengthen the partnership between Fiji and New Zealand. Some of the work includes high-level visits, increasing visitor arrivals, and offering assistance to Fiji's Higher Education Commission. Shireen Lata has the details.
High-level visits of officials are on the agenda, and New Zealand's High Commissioner Mark Ramsden says such visits signal the growing relationship between both the countries.
We've had a number of high-level visits, most recently, and as you reported, a visit by the New Zealand Minister of Defence, Honourable Jerry Brownlee, just before Christmas. I expect that the year is going to see a number of high-level visits both ways. We certainly have a visit booked for the Honourable Speaker of Parliament to head down to New Zealand in the early part of the year.
Ramsden says tourism is another area they are looking at with the introduction of more flights between Fiji and New Zealand.
Fiji has a very romantic and happy destination for New Zealand tourists, and I think the fact that we do have this people-to-people contact, which is not just tourism, of course, it's sport and it's business and it's academic and students, but it's a really positive part of the relationship.
New Zealand is the second largest source of tourists for Fiji. More than 120,000 New Zealanders visited Fiji last year. The High Commission is also looking at ways to provide support to the Fiji Higher Education Commission. It will also be assisting more students through the educational aid programs. Sharin Lata, FBC News.
The Ministry of Ethiopian Affairs is concerned about the high prevalence of drug cultivation by young people. It says it reflects badly on families and their provinces, and it's time to look at the strategies being used to address the problem. Savara Tamboa has more.
It's results like this that has prompted the Ethiopian Affairs Ministry and Police to relook at an agreement signed 4 years ago to combat drugs amongst the young people in rural areas.
I would like to look at other areas that we can assist each other in terms of trying to improve, get the opportunity of the youths rather than having them involved in criminal activities. What are the other openings that are out there that are provided for them?
The ministry is also concerned that the elderly citizens in villages and communities are not forthcoming about illegal drug activities happening around them.
It's better that we have a look at that again in the usual things that we usually do. It's a traditional way of rehabilitation. If we can revisit that, I think that will be good. We use our traditional ways of solving problems, disputes.
There are different views about what should be done to address the problem.
The government should help them.
Increase penalties. The combating of illicit drugs will be included in the ministry's corporate plan that will be ready by next week. It will also be included in the 5-year strategic plan from next year. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
We turn to sports now. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Thank you, Jackie, and good evening. Coming up, Reddy family and Fiji football mourn the untimely death of Fiji under-17 rep Muni Shalit Reddy in Samoa. We'll have the details after the break.
Bollywood hero Panti re.
Get this.
हीरो सपना दिखेला बंद करो।
क्या करो यार, सबको आती नहीं, मेरी जाती नहीं।
मिर्ची मस्त मॉर्निंग में हूँ अश्निल सिंह।
हाय मैं हूँ काजल।
शामिल हो जाए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे
6 AM to 9 AM।
मिर्ची FM, it's hot।
The football fraternity is still coming to grips with the sudden death of Vodafone Fiji under-17 rep Muni Shalit Reddy. The youngster, who was participating with the national side in the Oceania playoffs in Samoa, drowned yesterday. Josephine Navula has more.
Young Shalit Muni Reddy's untimely death has sent shivers down the spine of the footballing family, but more so his family.
He was a very good son for me. I was very happy that he was picked up to that level. He went up to that level. Last time I met him in the airport, but during Christmas Day I went and see him in the Bar Academy. Then in the airport, the plane was delayed. I said I'm gonna wait till the plane will go. No, Mom, you go. What you gonna do here?
The family was counting down the days to Friday when Reddy would have come home after spending time in the national camp and playoffs.
Last Friday, I talked to him. He said, Mom, we're going to come this Friday, we're going to come back. I was so happy. I just was counting the days, just how many days are left for myself, because he went from me on December 1st. 2 months he was away from home.
So much so that his family can still come to terms that beloved son will never return home.
For under 20, we don't know that story. He just told me like this. Then I told him, no, I will not send him for under 20. I want him to do Form 6 this year. Then this one said, Mom, you call Papa and ask what did they say. Then I told him, no, I'll wait till afternoon when the father comes, then I'll ask what did they say.
His love and passion for football took him away from home, and even his school colleagues are still grasping the fact that they will not see him again.
It was just when I was about to leave for home from Nandi town, when some of my boys they came to me and they said that Salid is no more, and I thought they were coming up with some kind of joke because Salid was one of those boys that were, making everybody laugh every time in every situation.
Reddy's footballing abilities have also been hailed as one of pure commitment and dedication.
It's a very, very bright career for him, and he was doing well with academic too. He was supposed to return and complete his Form 6, but and of course with a lot of plans. After I had a good view of the footage from Samoa about his performance, there were some plans in place, but the reality is those plans will just remain as plans.
District Nandi is trying to come to terms with the loss.
Salid was a player with a lot of potential. Before he left for the Under-17 World Cup, both Kamal Swami and again that had sort of identified him as a player who would go on to represent India in the national side. So a lot of potential. He was also part of our youth setup last year. He played a few games and he had a bright future. And we are deeply saddened by what has happened. We're still trying to come to terms with the loss.
A life lost so early and a talent which had the makings of a great player. However, what has happened can't be undone, but for sure Reddy's memories will live on for all whose lives he touched on and off the field. Josephine Vula, FBC Sports.
The Oceania Football Confederation has also paid its respects following the death of Shalit Reddy. OFC President David Chung has expressed sadness at the demise of Reddy, saying it is a tragedy that would be felt throughout Oceania. Chung says no words can fully express the grief and dismay at seeing this happen, and they can only pass on all their thoughts and prayers to the friends and family of Reddy. Meanwhile, the Fiji Football Association is also still coming to terms with the news.
It's a sad day for Fiji football and football as a whole that we have lost our young, talented player who was representing Fiji in the under-17 grade. And what a sad day. At this stage, we are liaising with Samoa Football, the Commissioner of Police in Samoa, the medical authorities to get the body released and get the postmortem done. And we are trying our best with the help of Oceania and the Samoa Football Association to get Salid's body into Fiji as soon as possible. We understand the family is waiting for that confirmation, but we are working round the clock and trying to get the confirmation and trying to get the body into Fiji as soon as possible.
Josephine Vulu, who has been covering this story today, now joins us live from our Nandi office. Josephine, thank you for joining us. As we saw earlier, Muni Reddy's passing has shocked many people. Has there been any word on funeral arrangements at this stage?
Thank you, Jamie. Well, Fiji Football Association this afternoon said they are working around the clock to get Shalit home. Fiji FA CEO Bob Kumar says they are in talks with authorities in Samoa, OFC, and also the airlines to ensure they get the youngster's body back as soon as possible. They expect a confirmation very soon. All in all, this episode has shocked every person involved with Reddy in any way, or now their main concern is just to get him home.
Thank you for joining us, Josephine, and our condolences to the Reddy family. The Telecom Fiji Under-7 side is heading to the Brazil Sevens next weekend with an air of confidence. The national side underwent a demanding off-season program throughout the festive period and has seen a tremendous improvement in fitness levels.
We didn't really have a rest. We sort of just rested on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Boxing Day we were back at it and throughout the New Year's, so it was good and a lot of commitment shown by the girls. It's something I'm happy about, and hopefully we'll just keep doing this and get the results.
Tani Vula will name a 12-member squad for the Brazil Sevens on Friday. Super Volleyball's campaign to defend the Vuladar Championship title received a major boost today. Suva's 4 men's and 2 women's teams were outfitted with new uniforms, which the capital side says provided a morale boost heading into tomorrow's competition. Tsale Ndawdakadaka reports.
Suva will go into the Vuladha Championship as the team to beat. The Blues scooped all the major titles on offer last year, and the focus this year will be on repeating that feat.
Yes, it's always hard to go in as defenders. Suva is defending the men's team, men's title, and also the women's title. We've had some problems during training, but I think we've got the teams prepared.
The 4 men's teams were on hand to receive their new set of uniforms from sponsor Fiji Broadcasting Corporation, which comes at an opportune time.
First of all, we are grateful that FBC has come again on board to sponsor for 7 teams for Vuladha. I think it'll really boost the pride and the determination of the players when they play on Thursday for the women and on Friday and Saturday for the men's competition.
Suva is expecting top teams like Rewai, Security Forces and Drifters to provide a strong challenge. The Vuladha Championship gets underway from tomorrow at the FMF Gymnasium in Suva. Tsalendo Takadak, FBC Sports.
An extra time winner sent Chelsea into the Capital One Cup final at Wembley this morning after a thrilling semi-final second leg against Liverpool at Stamford Bridge. The lone goal saw the Blues win the match 2-1 on aggregate. Here's the goal.
In charge of which is Willian.
That was sports for this evening. It's back to Jackie now with business.
RB Patel Group Limited today announced that its board has declared an interim dividend of 4 cents per share to be paid on 25th February. The company also released its half financial statements to 31st December 2014. Revenue, including other income, increased to $55.2 million from $54.2 last year, an increase of almost 2%. Profit after income tax expense for the current year is $2.9 million compared to $2.56 million last year, an increase of just over 12.5%. Generally fine weather conditions prevailed over the country today. Bar recorded the lowest temperature today at 30 degrees. Nandi was the highest at 32. Tomorrow, fine weather should be expected across all centres except for some cloudy periods and showers in Suva and Savo in the afternoon. Further outlook, some showers over the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands, afternoon or evening showers and thunderstorms elsewhere. And the main points again, the football fraternity is still coming to grips with the sudden death of Vodafone Fiji under-17 rep Muni Reddy. A new state-of-the-art high-tech studio for young people has been opened in Lami, and the super private hospital will resume 24-hour services starting Monday. To this week's poll question, we're asking, do you support the recognized seasonal employment scheme selection criteria? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That's our news for today. Join me again tomorrow. Good evening.